You feel it, don't you? That presence, even in absence. It's as if something pulls you to think, to remember, to want. You may try to ignore it, but you know it doesn't work. That person is there, in your mind, in your heart, as if time or distance means nothing. And you know what's most intriguing? It's not just you. What you feel is a reflection, an echo. There is an energy between you two that doesn't disappear. Maybe you've noticed it in the most random moments, when a smell, a song, or even the silence makes you remember. But it's not random, and you know it. The universe has strange ways of speaking. It gives you signs, little coincidences that seem irrelevant to anyone else, but they make sense to you. They are subtle touches, almost whispers, that push you to think, why do I still feel this? Why does it seem like it's not over? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself? Or have you been running from it, trying to find logical explanations for what is not logical? Because deep down, logic isn't what matters. It's what's inside, throbbing, reminding you that some connections are so deep that they don't break no matter how much you try. You need to be honest with yourself. What's holding you back? The fear of what might happen, or the weight of what has already happened? You already know the answer, even if you don't want to admit it. It's the fear of facing what it means, because facing what you feel head-on can change everything. And change is scary, right? But tell me, how long will you hide behind this? How long will you deny what your heart insists on shouting? You think you're in control, but you're just running away. Running away from a feeling that never left you, that has always been there, pulsating even in the quietest moments. This person, this connection, did not come into your life by chance. There is a reason for all of this. Maybe you met at the wrong time. Maybe you made mistakes, or maybe you just drifted apart. But the fact that you are here now, hearing this, thinking about this, is not a coincidence. You know that. You know because you feel it with a clarity that no one else can understand. The question is, what are you going to do with it now? Will you continue to push it away as if it were possible to erase something that is so ingrained in you? Or will you accept that maybe, just maybe, it is time to stop fighting against it? Think about the moments you shared, the glances, the words that never needed to be said, but were understood anyway. Think about what that person made you feel. Not just the good memories, but the way they challenged you, bothered you, made you grow. Real connections are not perfect, and you know that. They are intense, raw, sometimes even painful, but these are the ones that last. And what do you feel now? This emptiness, this lack, is not a weakness. It is not a mistake. It is a living reminder of something that still matters to you. Maybe you have tried to move on, to build a new story, to meet new people, but none of these experiences managed to erase this, did they? Because it wasn't about forgetting, it was about understanding. Maybe this person was the only one who really saw you, not the superficial layers you show to the world, but what is deep down, that part of you that you try to hide even from yourself. And that is what scares you so much, because being truly seen requires a vulnerability that you are not used to showing. So what are you going to do now? Will you continue pretending that none of this matters, that it is just another memory, a passing longing? Or will you have the courage to admit that you miss them, that you care, that you still believe this connection has something to offer? You don't need all the answers right now, but you do need to take the first step. You need to recognize that running away isn't working, that ignoring it is just leaving you more entangled. If this person still occupies your thoughts, maybe it's because there is still something that needs to be lived, or at least resolved. The universe has already done its part. It put you both on the same path, brought signs, reminders, even provocations, but it can't do everything alone. Now it's up to you, because it's your life, your choice, your chance to do something different. And if you let this pass, if you keep pushing it away, there will come a time when it will be too late. And you know what's worse? It's not the fear of trying and failing. It's the regret of never having tried, of never giving a real chance to something that could have changed everything. That weight is much heavier. It's the kind of regret that you carry forever because you know that it was you who chose to do nothing. So, what is your choice? Because right now, at this moment, you have an opportunity. Maybe it's to send a message, make a call, or even open your heart in a way you never have before. It doesn't matter what it is. What's important is that you do something. Because staying still, waiting for things to change on their own, isn't going to get you anywhere. You've already waited too long. You've already ignored enough signs. You've already wasted enough time with fears and doubts that deep down, you know shouldn't hold you back. So ask yourself, what do you really want? And what are you willing to do to achieve it? And before you say you're not sure, that you need to think more, I ask you, haven't you already thought enough? Because sometimes overthinking is just another way to avoid acting. And now is not the time to avoid. It's time to face, to feel, to do. You know it's time. And if you are here listening to this, it's because something inside you has already started to move. You can't ignore it anymore. You can't run away anymore. What is happening now, this moment, is no coincidence. It's the universe placing you exactly where you need to be, even if you are still trying to fight against it. Your feelings are not weak. They are true. And true feelings have power. You feel this because something between you two hasn't ended yet, or maybe because it was never meant to end. Something remains alive, pulsating, calling you to look, to act, to no longer hide. But I'm going to tell you something you might not want to hear. Just feeling is not enough. Feeling is the beginning, but it's action that transforms. And here's the reality. You can continue there, stuck in the what if, trying to imagine what could have been, or you can make the decision to break out of this cycle and do something. Because as comfortable as it may seem to stay in doubt, that comfort is consuming you. It's stealing time, energy, moments that you will never get back. Life doesn't wait. And that person, this connection, is also not going to wait forever. It may be that they are feeling the same as you, wondering why you haven't taken a step yet. It may be that they are looking for signs that you still care, but you can't count on that. You can't wait for the other person to do what you are also afraid to do. You feel the intensity of it all, but you are acting as if you have control over when or how this story should continue. The truth is, you don't. The only thing you can control is what you will do now. Because tomorrow is uncertain. And you know what else is uncertain? The opportunities that life gives you and that you choose to ignore. Think about it. If you do nothing, how will you feel a month from now? A year or even longer? You will look back and wish you had had the courage, because that's how regret works. It doesn't scream at the moment. It whispers slowly in moments of silence, when you realize you missed something you never should have let slip away. If this person still matters to you, and from what you're feeling now we know they do, then it's time to act. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It doesn't have to be an epic declaration. It needs to be sincere. It needs to be you. What matters is that it's real. It could be a simple message, a hello that opens the door to something bigger. It could be a conversation you've been putting off because you think you're not ready. Or it could even be you saying what you feel, without expecting answers, but releasing everything that's trapped inside. What matters is that you do something, because this silence, this inertia, is only taking you further away from everything it could be. You don't need guarantees. Guarantees are illusions. What you need is the courage to face what you feel, without fear of what might come next. Because even if the result isn't exactly what you expect, the peace of knowing you tried, that you were genuine, is worth much more than the doubt consuming you now. And if you think it's not the right moment, let me ask you, when will it be? Is there a right moment to be honest with yourself? Is there a perfect time to feel? No, the right time is now, because now is all you have. It's the only time that's truly yours. So what are you going to do? Will you keep hiding behind your doubts, your fear, your logic, or will you finally make room for what really matters? Because this person, this connection, didn't come into your life by chance. And if they're still there, so present even in absence, it's because it has a meaning you can't ignore. And if you think it's too late, that things have already gone past the point, know this. It's never too late to be honest. It's never too late to try. But it might be too late if you do nothing, if you continue to be paralyzed by what if, because time doesn't wait. And sometimes people don't either. You feel that there is still something between you two, something that deserves at least an attempt. So stop resisting. Stop pretending you don't feel anything. Because the more you push it away, the stronger it comes back. And you know it's true, you feel it, and now it's in your hands. No longer in the hands of time, fate, or any other thing you use as an excuse not to act. It's with you. You know what you need to do, so do it. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you is pulsating. This text brought to the surface feelings that maybe you have kept for a long time, but never really disappeared. And that's okay, because feeling is human, it's natural. What's not natural is to suffocate that, pretend it doesn't exist, or wait for time to solve something that only you can solve. The question is not just what you feel, but what you are willing to do with it. Because in the end, it's your actions that define what comes next. And that is exactly why I'm here, telling you with all the words, don't wait any longer. Because time is cruel to those who wait. It doesn't stop, it doesn't forgive, and it won't bring back the chances you choose to ignore now. Maybe you are thinking, what if I get hurt? What if it's not what I expect? But let me tell you something important. The fear of making mistakes is what keeps you from living. There are no guarantees in life, there never were and there never will be. But there is one thing worse than any mistake, any rejection or any disappointment: regret. And you know this because you have carried regrets before. That weight of looking back and thinking, I should have done something. Don't let that happen again now. The person who occupies your thoughts is not there by chance. You know there is a connection between you that goes beyond easy explanations. It's the type of bond that, even when stretched by distance or mistakes, never really breaks. That's why, even now, you feel this presence, because somehow you are still connected. And maybe, just maybe, this is the chance you've been waiting for to do things differently. To break this cycle of silence, doubts, fears. To make room for something new, something real, something that can only emerge when you have the courage to be vulnerable. Because that's what we're talking about here, vulnerability. It's not about having all the answers or knowing exactly what will happen. It's about being honest with yourself and with the other person. To say, this is what I feel and this is what I want. And you know what's most important in all of this? Even if things don't turn out exactly as you expect, you will know you tried. You will know you were genuine, that you did what was within your reach. And that, in itself, is an enormous relief, because there is nothing worse than doubt, that suffocating feeling of not knowing what could have happened if you had been brave. So, what are you waiting for? Life will not pause for you to make a decision, and that person, that connection, won't wait either. It's now or never. Now is the moment to pick up the phone, write that message, or simply allow yourself to feel all this without fear. Because pretending it doesn't matter only confines you even more. It's time to be honest, with yourself above all. And if you still have doubts, think about this. What do you really have to lose? Pride? Pride will never give you the peace you are seeking. Fear. Fear will never take you anywhere. But taking action, even with butterflies in your stomach, even without certainties, can open doors you didn't even know existed. You don't need to start big. It can be something simple, but heartfelt. A gesture, a word, even a silence that gives the other person space to speak. What matters is that it is genuine, because deep down that's what we all need, authenticity. And if this person is important to you, if this connection is something you value, then be true. Don't complicate what is, at its core, so simple: the desire to reconnect. And now, let me speak directly to you, here and now. If this message touched you, it's because you already know what you need to do. Don't ignore that. Don't push it to tomorrow or to some ideal moment that will never arrive. The moment is now, and you know that. This is your opportunity to change something, to do something different, to not let fear or doubt control your life. And while you reflect on that, I want to ask you for something. If these words made sense to you, if they touched you in some way, show it. Leave a like on this video. It may seem small, but it's a way for you to say, I am here. I understand. I feel this too. And more than that, I want you to comment below. Share what's going through your mind right now. What's your story? What do you feel about this? What does this person mean to you? I want to hear from you. And not just me, but everyone here reading and listening who are also going through something similar. Because in the end, no one is alone on this journey. We are all looking for something, trying to understand our feelings, trying to find the courage to act. Your story matters. Your voice matters. So, share. Let's create together a space of truth, connection, and support. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, every message has a purpose to help you reconnect with what is most important. to remind you that you have power, that your choices matter, and that life is too short not to be lived with intensity and truth. Hit the subscribe button. This is not just a click, it's a commitment to yourself, to your journey, to your truth. Now it's your turn. The ball is in your court. What are you going to do with it?